Welcome to Board Game TV. Today is Decked Wednesday and we're playing Slaughterville. Now, Slaughterville is not your typical deck game. As a matter of fact, it's not a deck builder. It's just a deck game with a few, I don't know, cardboard little pieces and places. No miniatures, no fuss, no muss, real simple. I happened to discover this game accidentally on Kickstarter. I thought, man, this thing looks a lot like Touch of Evil. Ironically, that was around, I guess, the time, I think it was around the same time around Touch of Evil came out with their own card game. But this game has plenty of places, characters, multiple villains. The villain in this one is the slasher. And a simple basic concept way of playing. So it was relatively inexpensive, so I backed it. And you know what? It does have a few problems with some of the rules, which I'll explain a few of the tweaks I'm making to this game right here. But other than that, you know, you get a lot of bang for your buck. I mean, these are all the different locations boards, and these are all the different bad guys. As you can see, there's a lot, and every location, every bad guy has their own deck of cards. So basically what the concept of this game is Slaughterville is a town. There's the entrance, and a lot of bad things are going on, and in this game the slasher is here. So let's go over a couple things. You choose your bad guy. And we chose the slasher. And the slasher is going to be represented by this little black meeple. It's going to have his own card deck and his own rules. You must survive and find a way to send the slasher back to the bottom of the lake once and for all. I guess that's a play on Jason. The slasher has 6 combat, and we'll get into that in a minute. And he has special rules that you have to play. One of the rules is the cabins must be one of the locations in play. So here's the cabins. It gets its own deck. Now normally, when you play, you have 6 locations. On this one you have to have the cabins. And then you randomly choose the other ones. Each villain usually has a certain location you got to put on. However, I changed that up a little bit to go with one of my tweaks. I'm only got 5 locations plus the starting area. And I'll explain that, why I did that in a minute. Okay, so with the slasher here, while at the cabins, players may detach a clue to engage in a single combat round against the slasher. And why would you do that? Well, that's how you're going to win this game, is you're going to have to kill the slasher. And this is the slasher's health, his deck of cards. Now, at the end of every villain turn, the slasher is going to play a card, so it's going to slowly deplete its health. But there are many ways for the slasher to get its health back. And so the slasher can really, in perpetuity, if you don't do damage to it, or do very little damage to it, would never die. It would just keep regenerating health. And that's going to play into why I have only 5 locations in a second. Alright, so at the beginning of the villain turn, the slasher engages in combat against all allies at the cabins, either attached to players or in the discard pile. If an ally is killed, it is removed from the game and the slasher heals 1 die 3 damage. So that's one way for the slasher to heal. And the slasher is going to be showing up at the cabins a lot. And at the cabins, it says if the villain is at the cabins at the beginning of the villain turn, the villain shuffles 1 random card from the villain discard pile back into the villain deck. So there's another way for it to heal. So as you can see, the slasher is going to be constantly healing. Now every ally is considered 3 combat. The players win when the slasher is killed. The slasher wins when all players are killed. So as you can see, it's very hard to kill the slasher. Even though every turn the slasher is going to be losing the card, it's still going to be very hard to kill it. Now we're going to go over combat real quick before I get to some other things. Combat is basically this. Every character, slasher has 6 combat, and our 3 characters are the drifter, the writer, the librarian. Every one of them has a combat score. He has 1, this is 2, and this is 2. So let's say the drifter and the slasher were going to fight. The drifter has a combat of 2, so he gets to roll 2 dice. Slasher gets to roll 6. 5 and 6s are successes. And so you would roll all the die and see who has the most successes. Well, in this case, the slasher had more successes. He had 3. The drifter had none. So the drifter is going to lose 3 health. And they all have their little health on the bottom of the card. He has 8. So you would take 3 wound markers and put it on the drifter. If the drifter had 1 success, then that would cancel out 1 success of the slasher, and then he would only take 2 damage. That's how combat works. The problem is that, okay, well, the drifter wasn't killed. He just took wounds. So the next turn, the drifter could go to the entrance and roll this die and heal that many life points. If the drifter wanted to, he could just basically stay there and heal. So let's say the drifter had 6 damage on him. He goes over here, he rolls dice, he heals 2. Okay, I'm going to stay there another turn. Roll dice, heal another 2. Roll the dice, heal another 2. Okay, that presents a problem in itself because some of these villains, as you can see, there's like a little countdown clock. Some of these villains use this, but the slasher does not. And so the heroes can always come here, as long as they're not killed outright in one little turn, which is very, very rare, could come here and just sit here and heal. So then we have a game where the slasher's constantly healing, the characters are constantly healing, and the game would never end. And so I had to modify something with that. That is one little shortcoming of this game, or at least of this when you play the slasher. Also, the heroes can go anywhere they want. Well, if you know the killer's there, never go there. And just sit at a location. So I had to come up with something. And so every turn, what the heroes are going to do, we're going to roll a 6-sider. And they're going to move to the place I rolled. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They can only go here and heal if they roll a 6. If they roll a 6, they can go to the entrance. And then they can heal. And then they have to leave. Can't stay at one place more than one turn. You got to constantly move. It's a little tweak I did to speed the game up and to make sure we get an ending on this game. Now, when we play other villains, we may not have to do that because we may have a countdown marker. But for this scenario, that is a tweak that I'm making. I know you're saying, well, sounds like the game is broken. It's not. Every game, usually you make a few tweaks. And this is just a tweak I'm making for this scenario. Otherwise, this game would go on forever. They would be constantly healing. That one would be constantly healing. And there you go. Okay. You can get items. These decks, when you go here, each character basically has 2 actions. You can move, explore, that means you take a card off the deck, or trade with another character if you choose to. And when you explore, you're going to find either items or have events and stuff like that. Let's go over items real quick. Items will help you you can carry 2 items or equip 2 items. Let me put it like that. You can have many items, but you can only equip 2 items. Now at the beginning of your turn, if you want to rearrange it, does it cost you an action? It's like a free action type thing. You can rearrange your stuff. But once you're gone and moving, you can't rearrange after that. Items, allies, you can have as many allies as you want. Okay. Each location has a special ability. Like this one's for the villain. The antique store. If a player is at the antique store during his or her turn, he or she may detach an item to shuffle the antique store discard pile back into the deck. So you can get rid of an item and you shuffle those discarded cards back into the deck. Because there may be something in the discard pile that you want and you want a chance to get. The spiritualist gains +1 to all attributes while at the church, and the villain suffers -1 combat while at the church. Well, we're not playing with the spiritualist. The forest, if a player escapes from combat while at the forest, he or she may move to a random location instead of an adjacent location. Must move to a random location. Must move to a random location instead of an adjacent location. And the asylum, if a player is at the asylum at the beginning of his or her turn, he or she must make a nerve check. If the player succeeds, he or she gains +1 to all single attribute checks while at the asylum. If the player fails, he or she loses 1 action. And in this game, you're going to be called upon to make several attribute checks. This is agility. This is nerve. This is like observation, perception, and of course that's your health, and we already went over it, that's combat. Each player has a special ability. In order to use your special ability, you have to burn a clue. How do you gain clue tokens? You gain clue tokens by getting in combat with enemies. If you defeat the enemy, you gain a clue. Some cards, you'll make checks to gain a clue. You can have as many clues as you want, and you can spin as many clues as you want on a single turn. The only time when you fight you do not gain a clue is when you do a single combat round against the villain. And that'll come up sometimes. Sometimes the villain deck, play a card, the villain will move there where you're at and say, have a single combat round against the villain. If the villain loses the combat, it goes back here to the starting area. If the hero loses combat, it goes back here to its starting area. That's one way they can go there and heal. When you do combat, regular combat, like with an enemy, some cards in here will be enemies, you'll do combat. If you win, you beat the enemy, it goes in the discard pile, you gain a clue. However, if you lose, you're going to take damage. Then you got a choice. You can either escape or you can fight another round. If you choose to fight another round, you do so. You either win or lose. And if you lose, well, then you can try to either fight another round or escape. Either one or the other until you win or you die. It only takes one time for you to beat the enemy, usually, to beat it. However, when you choose to escape, you have to pass agility test. And then you would go to if you pass, you would go to an adjacent location. Except for the forest where you go to random. However, you can spend a clue token to automatically escape. You don't have to pass the test. You spend a clue token to use your abilities. You can spend a clue token to explore as a free action, basically, out of place. So let's say somebody came here, they explored, did one card. I have a couple clue tokens. Hell, I want to explore again, so I'm going to play a clue token and do another card. That's how that works. And then, of course, in this one right here, this one, use clue tokens. To go to the cabins, you can use a clue token to have a single combat round against a slasher, and that way you can try to wound the slasher and deplete its deck. Because remember, that's the goal of the game. Now, it's always going to try to heal, but you really want to start putting damage on it. If the character dies, they die, they're out of the game. Now let's look at their special abilities. The drifter here is like a fishing buddy of mine. You gotta see at Walmart or something. Jack of all trades, shuffle 1 die 6 cards from any one location's discard pile back into its deck. You do not need to be at that location in order to use this ability. So you can spend a clue token to do that. The Rider. Change the story. Exchange an encounter card for any card of the same type, either the deck or the discard pile of your current location. That's not actually too bad because he comes against something bad. He doesn't like that. I'll spin a clue. Hey, there's another card in the discard pile I really like. Okay, I get that. And the Librarian. I think she has a really strong ability. Reduce the combat of any opponent by your current observation to a minimum of 1. So she can lower, right now, people's combat by 3 to a minimum of 1. And if she gets allies and stuff, that she gives her more observation, then she's kind of actually pretty powerful. Alright. And one last thing I have to say is if an enemy's in the deck and you don't defeat it, let's say you try to escape, well then it stays face up on that deck, and whoever gets there next has got to fight it. So that's the way that is going to work. So, as I said, let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, the pictures are just basically real life pictures, which I kind of like that. I mean, it's very rare you see that outside of Flying Frog games, and you know, I kind of like it. Gives it that this game feels like a cheesy, low budget B-grade horror movie that you just happen to like. I don't know how to explain it. If we were living in the 70s and this game came out in the 70s, it'd feel like the Chainsaw Massacre. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It kind of feels like the Blair Witch for the 90s. That type of thing. Well, anyways, alright, let's go ahead and keep going and see what we're going to do. Now, here notice the villain's going to be there a lot. The villain's deck is going to actually, and decks in here are going to actually be what moves the villain around. So, unless specifically stated, and the villain's going to try to be at the cattleman's lot as well. So that's the way that works. Alright, so we're going to start with the Drifter. He's the first player. Let's roll to see where he goes. He goes to location number 4. He goes to the forest. And this is the only other bad thing about this game that I don't like, is now I have to remember what color the Drifter is. And it's going to be, it's easy to lose track of what color he is. But I'm going to say the Drifter is white. We'll make the Rider green, green Rider, and the Librarian will be orange. So he goes to 4, so he's at the forest. And he's going to explore. And he has Hanging Dolls event. The peaceful walk to the forest that you had hoped to take is interrupted when you look around and find dolls hanging from the trees. Make a observation check. If you succeed, find a clue. Okay, well that's not too bad. He's got observation 2. And he succeeds, so he finds a clue. Just give him a clue token. Alright, next up is our Rider. He goes to the asylum. You look beautiful. A young lady sits with her back to you. As you approach, she turns and you can see that she has taken a scalpel and made deep cuts all over her face. She gazes longingly at you with blood pouring from the wound. She tells you that you are beautiful and that she wants to wear your face. She lunges at you. Beautiful lady. Combat of 4. Okay, so we have combat here. Now our Rider stinks at combat. He's combat 1. This thing has combat 4. So he meets the beautiful lady. Or you look beautiful. So we're going to do some combat here. Okay, well nobody won. So it's a tie. So now I can either try to fight her again, or I can try to escape. And I think I'm going to try to escape. That 4-1 doesn't look good. So let's get out of here. And I did not escape. So I have to fight. Okay, well this time she got 1 hit on me. So I'm going to take a wound. And I'm going to try to escape again. This time I was successful. So I will go to an adjacent location, which is going to be the entrance. We'll get the hell out of there. And that's going to be face up, so the next person that goes there has to fight her. Alright, the rider goes. She goes 4. She goes to the forest. Let's see. Safe for now. Play safe for now in your inventory. You may detach safe for now to escape from combat. So that's a free escape without having to spend a clue. That's fine. Okay, now it's the villain's turn. And the villain is still here. It's not on the board anywhere. So we're not going to have any of its things where if it's at the cabins it kills some allies. So we're going to just take the top card of the deck and see what happens. Sleeping Bag. The slasher chooses an ally from any discard pile and removes the ally from the game. If no locations have an ally, then nothing happens. Well, nothing's going to happen because there are no allies. Okay, so let's move our first player token, the rider. And you know what? Since he's here, he's going to go ahead and heal. He would heal 3, but that's it. That's one action. His next action is to move. Alright, he rolled a 6, so he can stay there. And that's it for him. The librarian, she's going to roll. She goes 5. She's going to the asylum. And guess what? We have that beautiful lady there. And she has a combat of 2. So she has to fight. Okay, wow, she took a beating. That was just bad. She took 3 hits. So she's going to take 3 hits. She's going to play this safe for now. Get the hell out of there. And go here to the entrance and heal. Next up is the drifter. He's at the forest and he rolls a 1 and he's going to the cabins. Now you and I know that that's the place where the killer basically likes to go, but he doesn't know that. Okay, Camp Counselor. Attach Camp Counselor to game +1 nerve. Okay, well he's got him an ally. Now, lucky for him, the villain is not there. Where the villain would try to kill him and the ally, but it's not there, so let's do a villain card. You can't hide. The slasher does 1d6 damage to all players in the player starting area. Oh my goodness. Now, normally the killer can't go here. The killer cannot freely go here. But when cards like this are played, they can. Alright, so 1d6 damage. We're going to start with the rider. He takes 4 damage. Yikes. Alright. And then the librarian. And if she takes 3 or more, she's dead. And she's dead. So the librarian has been killed. Probably the most powerful one has been killed. Now nothing's going to happen. We're not getting a new character. That's it. We just got 2 characters. That's it. Slasher killed her. Alright. So the first player token is going back to the drifter. He rolls a 5. He's going to the asylum. Uh-oh, and this beautiful lady there. Now he has 2 fight. She has 4. Alright, wait a minute now. No, his clue thing doesn't help him. So he's going to take 1 hit. And I think he's going to try to escape as well. He does. So he's going to move here. Okay, well, it's the rider's turn, and he's definitely going to heal. He heals 3. And he's going to move out of that location. And he goes to 5 as well. My goodness, the asylum is just a place to be. Okay, well, he can't fight. So actually, he's not in. Yeah, he takes 3 pops. So now he has to try to escape again. He does not. So he has to do combat again. Okay, well, he took 2 hits that time. 1 more hit, he's dead. But he's going to try to escape. And he does not. Okay. And he is dead. So, this crazy lady at the asylum, who's cutting her face and everything, is killing all my people. So he's dead. Yikes. Okay. And so, that is the end of the round. Let's play a villain card. Just a scratch. The slasher engages in a single combat round against all players who damage her this turn. If no players damage the slasher heals 1 die 3 damage. Well, nobody did damage her, so the slasher's going to heal some damage. And the slasher heals two cards. So let me shuffle them back into the deck. Alright, so our drifter's the only one left alive. So let's go ahead and have him roll, see where he's going to go. He's going to go 3. He's going to go to the church. And he's going to have an encounter there. Writing on the walls. You walk into the once ornate and beautiful decorated lobby of the church, only find that it's now covered in strange symbols. Can you decipher their meaning? Well, he's going to check, and if he passes, he gets to get a clue. He does. He gets a clue. So he has 2 clues now. And that's the end of his turn. And now the slasher goes. An axe. The first player must make an observation check and an agility check. If the first player fails, either check takes 1 die 6 damage. Okay. So first he has to do his little observation, which is 2. He passed. Now he has to do agility, which is 2. And he passed. Well, look at that. Okay, it's his turn again. Alright, he goes to the forest. Old Hermit. Having steeled yourself for the task at hand, you step into the forest. From out of nowhere, an older man jumps out with a warning. He tells you to stay out of the forest because of an ancient evil has taken root and it must not be tempted. Okay, make a nerve check. He's going to gain, he got 1 from him, so he's got 3. He passed. If you succeed, you may encounter forest as a free action. Okay, well he's gonna go ahead and do that. He's gonna get another forest here, and we've got another card. Strange house, an event. A small house sits in the middle of the forest. Roll 1 die 6. 3. Make a observation check to search the home for anything useful. If you succeed, find a clue. Okay. So remember, his observation is 2. He did not succeed, but there's no penalty. So there we go. Now it's the killer's turn. Machete. Attach machete to the slasher. The slasher gains +1 combat. Alright. So the drifter goes. He goes 2. He's going to go to the antique store. Off-screen teleport. Move the villain to your current location. Engage in a single combat round against the villain. That is not good. So we have a single combat round. Now remember, the villain now has 7 dice. Our guy only has 2 dice. That's terrible. But here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then he's going to get to roll an extra one. So let's see. Okay, well, there's a tie right now. So let's see. The villain breaks the tie. It does not. Okay, so what's going to happen is it was tied. So we're going to have to go again. I know it's a single combat round, but nobody won. Because either the villain's going to lose or I'm going to lose. Okay, well this time looks like I'm going to lose. So we got 4. 4 damage. So I'm taking 4 damage. And I'm going back. I have 8 health. I'm going back to my starting area. Oops. Which is, of course, here. And that's the end of the villain turn. So now it's my turn, so I can heal. I heal 3. And I move out of the location. I go to 2, which is the antique store. Again, oh my goodness. The villain's still there. However, at the beginning of the villain turn, we are at the cabins. So, we are not at the cabins. So that thing's not going to happen. Now, we're going to get in a single round again against the villain. Okay, the villain got 2, and then actually got 3, and he gets to roll 2 more. 4. Alright, so it did 4 more damage to me. I have to go back to my starting area. And now the villain gets to play a card. She's out there. All players must make 2 nerve checks. If any player fails either check, he or she panics. Any player that ends up at the cabins must engage in a single combat round against the slasher. Okay, so we have to do the nerve checks here. Now, a good thing we got that. So we got 3 tries. We failed. Alright, so we panic. So we have to roll a die to go to a random location. And then after that, we have to give up some stuff. So let's do that. Let's see what we're going to give up. We roll a die to see how much stuff we give up. And we roll this. We have to give up 2 things. So I'm going to give up the 2 clues. And now I panic and I go to a random location. I go to 4, which is the forest. Okay, now it is the beginning of my turn. Now the villain's at the antique shop. So do I stay at the forest? I'm going to roll. Let's see what happens. I rolled a 1. So I go to the cabins and I have an encounter here. Camp Counselor. Attach Camp Counselor to gain 1 health. Okay, well that's fine. I'll take it. I need to get back over here so I can heal. But now it's the villain's turn. Now the villain is not here. So we play a villain card. Ignore damage. Attach ignore damage to the slasher. The next time the slasher would take damage, detach ignore damage instead. Okay. That's not too good, but alright. And it's now my turn. Let's roll. I go to 6. I finally get to make it here. I'm going to roll a die to heal. I get to heal 3. Not too bad. So I'm still alive. Now the villain goes again. Helping Hand. The slasher engages in a single combat round against the first player. Alright, the slasher wins. Detach a random item from the first player and attach it to the slasher. Well, we don't have an item, but we do got to do a single combat round. Even if we're here. So remember, I have 2. Villain has 6 plus 1. Okay, we tied so far. We're just going to get to roll another die. It does. So it wounded me. However, that's fine. I'll take the wound. And I don't have an item, so I'm not going to lose anything. Okay, so now it's my turn again. And I'm going to heal. And I'm going to heal 3. And I'm going to move away. And I go to the cabins again. And now it's the villain's turn. Improvised weapon. Attach improvised weapon to the slasher. While an improvised weapon is attached to the slasher gains +1 combat. If another item is already attached or becomes attached later, detach improvised weapon to deal 1d6 damage. Alright, we already have a weapon. It's the machete. So I got to deal some damage to myself. I got to deal 1d6. 4. I have to deal 4 damage to myself. Yikes. It's not good. Not good at all. Okay, let me roll. Maybe I can get back to the entrance. I did. So I get to roll 6 and I can heal 2. Okay. So now it's the villain's turn. You can't hide. The slasher does 1d6 damage to all players in the starting area. Oh my goodness. Alright, it's going to do 1. Oof. Lucked out. Alright. Now it's the hero's turn. Again, I'm going to heal. I can only heal 1. And I'm going to move 2. And guess where I'm at? Now, I do not attack him, the slasher. The slasher will attack me at the beginning of the turn. However, I do get to explore. Artifact of Doom. Well, that doesn't look good. As you reach for it, you swear you hear, "Don't touch that." Roll 1 die 6. I rolled a 1. Make a observation check. Okay, come on, we got to pass that. That's not a good thing. We did not. Shoot. If you fail, attach Artifact of Doom, you suffer -1 to all attributes. At the beginning of each turn, make a check. If you succeed, detach Artifact of Doom. Oh, well, that's not going to help me real well. Crud. Okay. And now it's the villain's turn. Now, the villain is not here, so I'm not going to do anything. However, the villain is going to get to attack me 1 time. And I'm -1 to all attributes, so I only have 1 combat. Of course, he has 7. Oh, look at that. We tied so far. Okay, so it's a tie. So, well, I guess that's it. Yeah, that's right. A single combat round. We can stay there. I can get the hell out of there and move. I can't believe that. Huh. Oh, well. Alright. My turn. Oh, wait a minute. It has to play a card. Alright, she always comes back. Attack, she always comes back to the slasher. If the slasher is killed while she always comes back is attached to the slasher, remove she always comes back from the game, and the slasher heals 1 die 6 damage. Ah, man. We ain't never going to kill this idiot. Alright, so I get to move, and I go back to here, and I'm going to heal me some health. And I'm going to heal 3, but however, remember, I get to make an observation check. Let me do that real quick. I'm -1. I passed. Alright, I get to get rid of the Artifact of Doom. Alright, so it's the villain's turn. And we draw a card. Come home. The slasher moves to the cabins, draws 1 die 6 card from the cabins deck, discards those cards, and then heals 1 damage for each card discarded. Okay, so it's going to the cabins. Draws 1 die 6 cards. Draws 1, okay. Discards. Then heals 1 damage for each card discarded. So she's going to heal 1 damage. Fine. We'll take a card here. Put it there. And the slasher's going to heal 1 damage. So we'll just stick that card right in the middle. We don't know what it is. And then if the villain is there at the beginning of his next turn, is going to heal some more. So now it's our turn. That was come home. Huh. I'm going 6. Well, I'm staying there. I don't want to stay there, so I'm going to roll again. 4. And let's see. Here's my trip and fall. The sound of footsteps coming after you is faster than you imagine. You hear someone yelling behind you. They're coming for you. Can you get away? Make a agility check. I did not succeed. If you fail, your turn is over. Well, my turn was over anyways. Okay, so looks like the villain here is going to, beginning of his turn, is going to be able to heal. Now, there are no allies in the cabin deck, and our hero is not there. So, nothing's going to happen. However, the villain does get to draw a card. Surprise attack. The first player must make an agility check. If the first player fails, she must engage in single combat. He passed. So that was good. And now it's our guy's turn, and we got to get some stuff, man. Alright, so we're going to the cabins. Oh my goodness. And we're going to explore. Off-screen teleport. Move the villain to your current location. Engage in a single combat round against the villain. Alright, so that's basically what's going to happen. 3, 4, 5, 6. And just roll one more. Oh, there it goes. It got me. Alright, so it popped me. There we go. Okay, so now it's the villain's turn. I go to my starting area. The villain's going to heal another card. Because it's at the cabins. And then we're going to play a card. Captured. The slasher removes an ally from 3 random locations. Well, there is no allies at 3 random locations. Attach captured and those allies. If no allies present in a location, discard pile, then no allies removed from that location. Well, hey, I got lucky. There were none of that stuff there. Okay, so it's our hero's turn. We'll go ahead and heal him. He's going to heal. And we're going to move him. He goes back to the cabins. Oh my goodness. Let's draw. That's it. That's the end of his turn. And so now he's going to... We got a problem here. The villain is going to attack us now. And it's going to attack our counselors. So remember, counselors gain 3... have 3 combat. So it's a little bit better. So let's see what happens. Okay, the villain got 2. So the villain killed this guy. He's dead. He's removed from the game. And the villain's going to go after her now. And the villain killed her. Alright. So that means that the villain is actually going to heal 1 die 3 damage for every ally killed. Now the villain is going to attack. He's going to actually heal. So he's going to basically heal all that stuff. But the villain's actually going to attack me now. Okay, that time, however, wow. Okay, so I, no matter what, have hurt her. However, we got to play this card. Next time, take damage. Detach, ignore damage instead. So the villain was not damaged. So I beat it, but I didn't damage it. So it does move away. However, the villain does get to heal. Gets to heal 1 die 3 for him. That's 3, 4, and then 1 for that. So that's 5 cards the villain gets to heal. So let me do that 5 cards and put that back in the deck. Okay, so the villain is healed. It's back in the deck. Now it's our hero's turn. And he's staying at the cabins. So he's going to get to explore. That means he's going to get to explore twice. Alright, glass boat, glass bottom boat. Alright, so let's see what we got here. Let's see here. Alright, eager to see the lakes of Slaughterville, you take out the camp's glass bottom boat. Roll 1 die 6. We rolled a 6. Now usually in this game, 6 on these cards is bad. As you pass over the pristine waters, you see a strange tablet on the bottom of the lake. Can you make out what it says? Make a observation check. If you succeed, find a clue. Well, that's like I said, usually 6 is bad, but okay. So let's do an observation, see if we can find a clue. We do not make it. Alright, we're going to explore again. Baseball bat. The camp has long been known for being excellent sports, and baseball is their crowning achievement. On the wall they hold their winning bats from each of their championships. Attach baseball bat to gain 1 combat. Okay, that's actually pretty good. We'll gain that. So, alright, it's the villain's turn. The villain is there. So we're just going to play a card. Surprise attack. First player must make an agility check. Failed. Alright, so the slasher comes here. And we're going to have a single combat round, but this time I got 3 dice. Wow, I hit it twice. Oh, she got 1 hit. Can we avoid? Alright. This time I beat the slasher. So slasher actually goes back here. Slasher's going to lose a card. And that's it. So look at that. Alright. My turn. I rolled a 6. Well, I'm there. I'm going to roll again. I don't need to heal. So I'm going to the antique store. The villain plays a card. Helping hand. The slasher engages in a single combat round against the first player. If the slasher wins, okay. Alright, so we're fighting again. Let's do this again. Maybe I can beat him again. Oh, that time, no. That time, I take 2 damage. I go to my starting area. And, I have to attach this to the slasher. The slasher took my baseball bat. So it has now +2 combat. Thanks. That's the end of that turn. So let me roll to heal myself. Alright. And let me get the hell out of here. I stay there. Well, I'm not going to stay there. I go to 2. God dang it. I go to where slasher is. Alright. Now it's the slasher's turn. The slasher's going to do a combat round against me. Now I have 2 dice. The slasher has now 8. Alright. Well, that's 3 hits on me. So I'm going to take 3 hits. And I'm going back to my starting area. And now the slasher is going to play a card. There it is. The day has been one of fun and excitement. You are eager to get back to your... That's the cabins. I'm sorry, that shouldn't be there. I don't know why I got put in the deck. I thought that was weird. Here we go. Here we go. You can't hide. The slasher does 1d6 damage to all players in the starting area. Okay, well, this could be a problem here. That's 1. Alright. And that's it. So now it's my turn. I'm going to heal. I heal 3. Rolled good. Now I move out of there. And I go to 2. Back to here. So me and the slasher are going to go round and round again. Okay, well, I took 1 damage, and I'm heading back to here. Okay, now we got to play a card. The first player must make an observation check, and if the first player fails, he takes 1d6 damage. Alright, so I have observation. I failed, so I have to take 1d6 damage. Alright, I take 2 damage. So I'm back at 4. Alright, now it's my turn again. I heal 2. And I'm leaving. And I'm going here to the forest. And that's the end of my turn. An axe. Here we go again with the same card. Alright. Well, I passed that. So now I have to do the agility. I passed that. So I take no damage. Alright, now it's my turn. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and explore. Old Jawbone. You walk carefully over the rough terrain, searching for any clue as to the mystery of Slaughterville. You see what appears to be the bone of a large animal. It is very heavy and looks like it could be dangerous. Attach Old Jawbone to gain 1 item. Okay, and I'm going to explore there again. I'm going to use my second action. Electrical storm. The storm came out of nowhere. The lightning is flashing unnaturally fast. A strike hits mere feet from you as if it were trying to hit you. Can you make it to safety before you're struck? Make an agility check. I can. That's fine. I did not fail. That's the end of my turn. It's turn, but still at the helping hand. The slasher engages in a single combat round. Alright, so here we go. The slasher comes to my location. If the slasher wins, I'm going to lose an item. So this time I have 3 combat. Because of the jawbone. Ooh, well, hold on. Yikes, that was a bad roll for him. That was terrible. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these 2 are canceling 2 out. I'm taking 3 damage. I'm losing the jawbone. Bye-bye, jawbone. I'm going to my starting area. Yikes. Okay. So it's my turn. I can heal. I only heal 1 that time. And now I have to move. And I go to the antique store. Now it's his turn. Sleeping bag. Choose an ally from any discard pile and moves an ally from the game. I don't think there is an ally in any discard pile. So there's that. Now it's my turn. I'm at the antique store and I'm going to stay there. It's for you, villain. An antique phone sits beside the cash register. It rings. You answer. Roll 1 die 6. 1. A gravelly voice tells you of the darkness in town. Make a nerve check. I do not make it. I could have found a clue. Alright. And let's do this next one. Wild Bill's rifle. Oh, let me get this. Please let me get this. In one of the lock cases is a valuable piece that was unexpected in a small Slaughterville shop. The shopkeeper tells you that it is the famed rifle of Wild Bill himself. He offers it to you in a trade. You may detach 3 items. Damn it, if you do. Oh man, that was... Oh. Alright, well it's the villain's turn. He's at the forest right now, so we have a card. She's out there. All plus players must make 2 nerve checks. Uh-oh. Failed. If any player fails either check, he or she panics. Okay, well I'm not going to lose any clues. That's not going to be a problem. However, I don't want to go to the cabins because if I do, I have to do a single round against the slasher. I go to 3, I go to the church. So that's okay. So it's my turn. And I'm going to go stay at the church here. Black slime. Yeah. Demon. The creature stands in the aisle of the church. It stares at you for a long moment before unleashing a violent stream of black ichor. Roll 1 die. 4. A dark demon rises to meet you. Uh-oh. Combat 4. Okay, that's probably going to kill me. I got combat 2. It's got combat 4. Okay, well I got 1 hit on it. It got 2, so it beat me. So I got to take 1 damage. Now, I can either combat it again or try to escape. And I'm definitely going to try to escape. I make it, and I go to the antique store. And he's face up on the church. So that demon's just haunting the church. Okay. That was my first action. Now, escaping doesn't count, so I can have another action. I'm going to have one at the antique store here. Safe for now. Okay. Now it's the villain's turn. As he's still in the forest, attach improvised weapon to the slasher. If another item is already attached, detach it to deal 1 die 6 damage to a random player. Okay, so this is a problem. 5 damage. That's terrible. Alright, so 5 and 5 is 10. I have 8 health. So the slasher killed me. No surprise there. We were there. We lasted a good little bit against it by ourselves. But what can I say? Alright. Well, that is Slaughterville. Now, I just want to give a little bit more of my opinion on this game. Yes, I know I had to tweak the rules a little bit. Yes, the slasher may not be the greatest thing, and yes, my guys getting killed off early may have been a problem. However, I really do like this game, and if you like cheeseball horror or a touch of evil or things like that, I would recommend getting this game. This is an inexpensive game. You find it's pretty inexpensive, or it was when I got it. And I would really like to see this game's popularity grow, because I would love to see expansions for this game. I would love to see them do another Kickstarter. I mean, doing the cards and stuff, it's not like they got to go send off the miniatures in China and and to get on a boat and all that stuff. This game could virtually, if you wanted to, be made here. I mean, let's be honest. Yeah, okay, it may not be cost effective, but still, no miniatures, not too much of a fuss. So, I don't think it'd be too much of a problem and too long to ask for. They could be a few rule clear-ups here and there. There could be a few tweaks here and there. But actually, I happen to like this game. I like the different environments. I like the different villains. And each of them play a little bit differently. Especially according to their decks. I think this is a good game. It's an inexpensive, good game that has that nice cheese B-movie horror feel to it, and I would recommend it. We are going to play this game again, and next time when we play, we're going to play with different characters, different locations, and a different villain to the replay value. But yes, Slaughterville, I think, is a good game. I did surprisingly well for only having one character towards the end. That stupid ugly lady got me. Ah, you look beautiful. Yeah, she got me good. Now, what are you going to say? She helped kill those two guys, not the slasher. How many more cards does the slasher have in his deck? Well, it had a few more. And I guess the slasher in this game is this crazy looking lady. That's fine. Prize attack, you can't hide. Capture, just a scratch. Restless spirit. Restless pursuit. Sorry. She's out there in improvised weapon. So that's the way the slasher plays, is it pops up all over the place and tries to hang around the cabins. So I hope you enjoyed it, and until the next time, I will see you then, and have fun.